There is a mountain in Japan shaped like a cone. People have looked at it for 1,000 years and seen the same thing wrapped around it. Not a road. Not a river. Something with a great many legs.
Yokai night. Tonight the centipedes had wrapped a mountain 7.5 times. The Ōmukade. In every version of this history, a dragon asked a human for help, and every time the human says yes. Tonight why?
Ōmukade means giant centipede. Start with the real animal, because Japan has a big one, about 20 centimeters. It is flat, it is fast, and it comes into houses. The bite is not deadly. It just hurts for days, so every farmhouse knew this animal. The yokai is that animal, made enormous. Hard shell, a red head, hundreds of legs moving at once. And one measurement follows it everywhere. It is long enough to wrap around Mount Mikami 7.5 times. The mountain is 432 meters high, 3 kilometers around the base. So the number people kept repeating is a creature over 20 kilometers long. So what does a centipede that size actually do? It comes down off the mountain at night. It goes into the lake, and it eats fish first, then the creatures of the water, then whatever is still moving. It does not bargain, and it does not turn around. That is the whole of it. It eats, and it comes back the next night. The oldest surviving record of a giant one is from about 1120. A collection of tales describes 7 fishermen blown onto an island. A giant centipede and a giant serpent are fighting there, and the men are asked to pick a side. They pick the serpent. They fill the centipede with arrows. And then nothing. No reward, no title, no hero. The story just stops. 200 years later, somebody told it again and gave it an ending. That is the version Japan kept. A warrior comes to a bridge over the river that drains Lake Biwa. A huge serpent is lying across it. Nobody will cross. He walks over it. That night the serpent comes to him as a woman. She is the dragon of the lake, and she has a problem on the mountain. Something comes down from Mount Mikami every night and eats everything in her water. She has asked before. Nobody has said yes. He says yes. That night the mountain lights up, ring after ring, all the way to the top. It is not lanterns. It is the legs. He shoots twice, and both arrows come off the shell like it was armor. He has one arrow left. He puts the head of it in his own mouth. Then he prays, and shoots, and it goes in between the eyes. The dragon pays him in rice, a bale that fills again as fast as it empties. His name was Fujiwara no Hidesoto, and he is in the histories. He put down a real rebellion in the year 940. Go back to the arrows. 2 of them come off the shell and land in the grass. That part is in every version. Steel does not work on this thing. What works is spit. He wets the last arrowhead in his own mouth, and that one goes in. Real centipedes are armored. A hard shell in overlapping plates. So an arrow glancing off is something somebody actually watched happen. But spit is not a weapon. Anyone has spit. The thing that finally kills it is not special, and it does not belong to a hero. He prays to a war god as well, so the story keeps one foot on each side.
That is a version Japan remembers. There's an older one, nobody wins. The rest is what got left out of it.
Go back to the question. A dragon asks a human for help against a centipede. It happens in the old version and in the one that lasted. The human always takes the dragon's side. Nobody in these stories ever helps the centipede. The answer is not on the mountain. It is inside it. Mount Mikami has iron and copper in it. And the men who dug for ore had their own word for a seam of metal. They called an iron seam a black centipede. They called a copper seam a red centipede. Look at a mine shaft from above and you will see why. One long body, and side tunnels coming off it like legs. So miners did not kill centipedes. We know that because they wrote it down on a votive plaque in 1846, and the plaque still exists. It shows the inside of a gold mine, and there is a centipede in it. And once you are on the digging side, the animal turns all the way over. In Japanese, the word for leg is also the word for money in circulation. 100 legs meant money arriving from every direction. So anyone who dealt in metal or coin wanted a centipede on his things. Bisha Monten, the god of war and of treasure, took it as his messenger. And a centipede walks forward. It does not back up. Warlords like that. Takeda Shingen had a unit of messengers called the Centipede Corps. So the thing that empties a lake is also the thing you carry into a battle for luck. Now put both sides on a map. The dragon is the lake. The lake waters the rice. The centipede is the mine. The mine sends mud and metal down the streams. Mining and farming fought over the same water everywhere in Japan. And there were always more farmers. This is one reading, not a proven fact. Scholars do not all agree. But it explains why, for 1,000 years, everyone in the story picks the water. The giant centipede is not only Mount Mikami. On an island off Kaga, it fights a serpent and the fishermen help the serpent. In Gun Mr, a family says their ancestor was that warrior, and married the dragon's daughter. They were still telling researchers that in the 1980s. And in Osaka the reports are smaller and worse. 30 centimeters across. 3 meters long. Not a mountain. A thing that fits in a room. That one is harder to laugh at. Other places built the same animal. Greece put it in the sea, the Skolopendra, written up as the largest thing in the water. China made it a demon lord. In Journey to the West, the 100-eyed demon lord blinds people with light from his eyes, and underneath he is a centipede. Korea made it take girls. A village gives up one girl a year. A toad the girl once fed comes back and fights it, red fire against blue fire. They both die. The girl lives. The Maya made it a door. Its open jaws are the way into the underworld. For Maya kings named themselves after it. Nobody borrowed this from anyone. For places looked at the same animal, and each of them arrived somewhere different. You can go and stand at all of this. Mount Mikami is in Shiga, an hour from Kyoto, and you can climb it in 90 minutes. It still looks like a cone from every side, which is why the story needed a spiral. The bridge is still there too. It has been rebuilt many times, but it crosses the same water. At the foot of the mountain there is a shrine with a national treasure hall. And the centipede kept working after the legend stopped. It is a boss in Yomawari, big enough to cover a whole shopping street. It is a character in GeGeGe no Kitaro. It is a species in Touhou. It is the first demon InuYasha ever fights, and she has a woman's face. In Nioh it guards a silver mine, which is closer to the truth than the game knows. And in Sekiro, centipedes live inside people and stop them from dying. 200 years of that, from a bug that gets into farmhouses.
Here's what stays with me. 1,000 years of this story and nobody ever helps a centipede. Everybody picks a water. An encyclopedia of these creatures one night at a time. Subscribe and help me keep it going. Next time, a woman in a well, counting plates, Okiku.
And if you want more monsters, our sister channel Monster Atlas explores the beasts and cryptids of the whole world.